Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the node system. Within this video, we'll be going over a quick recap on what we've previously mentioned in the What is Ashes of Creation video. We'll also be looking at how node levels work. We're looking at node diversity, node types, node buildings, and node governments. So, a quick recap about what we've mentioned in the What is Ashes of Creation video before we get into more detail. The way that the game world works is that it's composed of nodes. The node system in Ashes of Creation works with each area around the world containing this node, which allows the area to progress to different stages of civilization and development as players interact with the area by killing monsters, questing, gathering, and adventuring. Day 1 of launch were comprised of an empty world, meaning that these nodes around the world map and how they're affected is completely down to player interaction. The more players complete activities in a certain area, over time this will then contribute to giving more XP to the area's node. Once a node has gained enough XP, an expedition will appear with quests. As more players do the same within the area, it will then upgrade to an encampment with more quests, NPCs, and opportunities. The more players that work on a node within an area, the better it can get, potentially to a metropolis. Now that we've caught up with the quick recap, we can take a look into the different stages that nodes can have. Nodes have 7 different stages of upgrades, starting from level 0 with Wilderness through to level 6 being Metropolis. The complete order being Wilderness, Expedition, Encampment, Village, Town, City, and then Metropolis. With 103 nodes plus 15 castle nodes for a total of 118 nodes around the world, there are many different locations to be able to adventure and take part in, with each node's location dictating the quests and world events that are able to happen there. Something you might find yourself asking now is, what happens when all of the nodes are upgraded to max? Thing is, this won't be able to happen, as the way that nodes work is that once you level a node, the nodes adjacent to this node are then locked out from upgrading to the same level. However, this isn't always fully locked in. You are able to change this and de-level a node so that adjacent nodes can continue to progress. This is done via players participating in a PvP node siege to destroy the area so that the areas near will then have the room to grow and upgrade themselves, and therefore unlocking new content that was previously inaccessible. This then allows for long-term player-driven replayability. Through this, each server will be different to each other, leading to a different world history, development process, and different state of unlocked content, with likely no 2 servers being the same and a constant ever-changing world. With lots of different nodes, there will also be lots of different diversity, as a node will take on the architectural appearance of the race who contributed the most towards its development. For example, if dwarves contributed the most towards a node in the mountains, then the town in the mountains would have a dwarvish aesthetic. Or perhaps humans contributed the most towards a node in the desert, then the architecture would then have a human aesthetic. This then changes at every level of development based upon the race that contributes the most towards the development of the node. Each node will be assigned one of 4 possible node types, with each having its own type of benefits. These are divine nodes, economic nodes, military nodes, and scientific nodes. Divine nodes are based around their specialization of faith and skill/equipment augment focuses, with the special NPCs there being priests. Economic nodes focus around their specialization being around trade and merchant focuses, with the special NPCs there being merchants. The military node specialization is focused around combat and class training focuses, with the special NPCs there being guards. And scientific nodes focus around artisan and construction focuses, with the main NPCs there being scholars. Depending on what type of node you advance will depend on what different building options will be there to manage within the node. Players will be able to identify the type of a node after its first stage of development when it's become an expedition. However, these node types are predetermined and the same across all servers and will always remain the same throughout advancement or destruction. Each different node type has its own unique buildings. For example, divine nodes have temples, economic nodes have markets, exchange, galleria, and emporiums, military nodes have barracks, and scientific nodes have libraries, colleges, universities, and academies. However, between all nodes there are also common constructible nodes such as apartments, marketplaces, and royal stables. The node governments will be able to decide the locations of where these are then built. Node governments are chosen from a node citizenry 1 week after a cooldown once the node has reached stage 3, the village stage. This then allows players to establish citizenship at the village, which may require them to relinquish citizenship to another node if they've already done so. Following the cooldown, there will then be a week-long election process, and from then onwards, election will be following a monthly cadence. During the duration of 21 days after a node has achieved becoming a village, it will not be able to be sieged. This does not apply to nodes attaining higher stages. The positions within a node's government are attained through titles, which grant special access to NPCs within the node. Divine node governments are chosen from citizens via service-oriented quests that prove faith and dedication to the node. Economic node governments are able to be bought and sold by citizens with the most money. Military node governments are chosen from citizens taking part in a last man standing gladiatorial-esque combat. The idea around this is to have a player creating a champion in which you'll be able to use in an arena instead of the regular character. The champion can then be equipped with gear and skills via quests along with materials and gold to make the champion stronger. Scientific node governments are elected democratically through player voting. Current titles are Mayor, Priests, Bishops, Acolytes, Patron Guild Leaders, and Chief Bounty Hunters. Mayors are the leaders of a node's government who control the development of the node. They are able to allocate resources, taxes, quests to help develop node defenses, coordinate the transfer of needed supplies with citizens operating caravans, and through these caravans allocating the resources in which a particular node requires and then motivating citizens to fulfill those needs, and then also other leadership powers. Leadership powers might involve things such as marking foreign citizens of other nodes as enemies of the state, declaring war on another node, entering into trade agreements, directing assets, building projects, tax allocation, allocating treasury funds to hire mercenary NPCs to defend the node during sieges, and choosing a node name from a predetermined list. I'm hoping that all of this has gone into enough of how the node system works. However, if you feel there's something that I might have missed, please do feel free to leave a comment or get in touch with me, and I can hopefully try to answer some future questions that you may have. So, once again, thank you very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy the video, I'd highly appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you have any questions, recommendations, or anything you just want to talk about, please feel free to leave that in the comments section, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And once again, if you managed to make it this far in the video, please feel free to let me know by leaving a comment saying, "Hey, nice new profile picture, Limes." Catch you next time.